First and foremost, man, how are you doing? How's the family? What's going on?
Well, we're doing good, man. Everyone's healthy, and we're just gonna, do the whole social distancing thing. Don't touch your face, wash your hands, all that stuff, and ride this thing out as best we can.
All right. What's your plan right now? Where are you headed?
So right now we decided to cruise from Arizona home to Texas. I think it just, with basically looking like June baseball at the earliest, it makes sense to go home and spend it close to your family and
Hmm.
and all that. So that's what we decided to do. I think some guys were still deciding on what they wanted to do as of when I left this morning. So, it's guys are want to stay in baseball shape, but you also want to go be with your family and go be where you're most comfortable. It's a really weird time.
Yeah, what's kind of your plan then? So if you're heading home, I mean, how are you doing your best to keep into baseball shape? And what's Stripling 101 going to be like for the next couple of months?
Yeah, man, it's just do whatever you have to. I bought a net at Target and stole 2 dozen baseballs. Well, I was handed 2 dozen baseballs when I walked up the door at Camelback Ranch, and if I have to, I'll go in the street and throw into a net. Luckily, there's actually a pretty good group of guys in Houston
Hmm.
that I can play catch with, but it'll just be lift when you can. Maybe bring a can of Lysol to the gym if you have to,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
lift in batting gloves maybe. But it's you work so hard over the off season to get as big as strong as you can, and I got built up to 4 innings, and now you got to find a way to keep it as best you can, and it's going to be tough. Everyone's situation is going to be different, but for me, it's just every day try and do a little bit of something, and if you can get like two big lifts in a week somewhere, you should be able to maintain some strength and then play catch. 4 or 5 times a week. Maybe even got to run out to a little league field, throw off their mound, and do a net or something. It's just all hands on deck, man. You got to do what it takes.
Well, Ross, I know when this episode comes out, whenever it does, I know you're going to get a lot of people in your social media mentions volunteering to be a bullpen catcher over there for you. So be
Oh
ready
yeah, I
for
can't
that.
wait,
And
man. That'd be great.
Brooke, I'm surprised you're not doing it first.
Yeah, it's true. I got a lot of catching experience in high school, Ross. So I'm on it.
Hey man, I'd love to have you. I bet even though people will volunteer, it's probably actually going to be hard to find anyone. So
Yeah, for
if you
sure.
want to do the 20-hour drive to Texas, I'll
That's
be
a
I'll be
that's a
ready for
beautiful
you.
drive from here to Texas too.
You
All
know,
all flat.
yeah. On
Yeah,
that,
well,
go ahead.
gosh, yeah. Once you you get through New Mexico and through El Paso, and it's beautiful, and then all of a sudden it's just flat. Me and my wife were just talking about that. Texas is not very scenic.
The funny thing too is you're like, oh, I'm in Texas, I'm almost there, and you're like, oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you're not even
almost
That's
there.
cute.
halfway. Yeah, not even
On
halfway.
that note, what's Cooper's baseball background there? How could he handle receiving for you?
That is a good question. We might have to put that to the test because I
That's
don't
a good
know.
episode.
Yeah, I don't think he's played baseball. Yeah, we need some big swing content right now. There's no sports or anything, so we're gonna try and do as many podcasts as we can. Maybe we'll put that on there as well. See if he's talked about how he played baseball as a kid, but I've actually never seen it, so we might have to put a glove on and see what that looks like.
Yeah, he's just saying, yeah, and then he's going to be like, oh, give me the right-handed glove, and he actually throws right-handed, or you know how it goes. People that don't know what they're doing, but kind of getting back there to, I'm unaffectionately calling it C Day here or Corona Day. What was sort of the scene in the locker room as everything was kind of being announced in the clubhouse and wherever you might have been.
Yeah, it was just it was wild, man. I woke up that day thinking I was throwing 4 innings against the Cubs,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and by the time first pitch was going to roll around, baseball was basically suspended indefinitely.
Mm.
They put the 2 week kind of original on it, but I knew that was going to be almost impossible. And I think instantly, I was just, what do we do? Are we going home? Are we staying in Arizona? Is the team staying together? Are we dispersing across the country? Guys start worrying about benefits and things like that, just
Hmm.
their family, and then obviously minor leaguers and those kind of guys who just got there, maybe got a few days of practice in and are headed home. And you've seen all the stuff about them on social media. They can't pull unemployment, but can they actually get a job if if they got to be back at the complex in a month to get ready for a season? It's just it's crazy. So just so many questions instantly and not a lot of answers. Which I mean, that's the world right now. There's not a lot of answers. A lot of people work from home, self quarantining. Restaurants are takeout only. I mean, I haven't been to LA, but it sounds like it's bear out there in the grocery store front and all that kind of
Yep.
stuff. So it's we were stressed, man. We want to go out and play baseball, and now we can't. And so now it's just basically just said keep your family safe and see what the next few weeks hold.
Do you know what to expect? Has the league, has the team told you anything, or is it
Well,
just stay ready? Let's be ready.
yeah, moral of the story is be ready. As far as what to expect, I think everyone expects at least another 3-week spring training of sort.
Mm-hmm.
Spring training 2.0, because starters will need to get built up. They'll need at least 3, maybe 4 starts, which just takes time, which stinks. We all want to be ready, and when they say, hey, it's baseball time, that we could be ready for games within a week, but that's just impossible when we're going to get up to 2 months off here. So, most of us are just waiting for a call to tell us to come back to Arizona. We'll get ready, and we'll go from there.
What in your personal opinion, what's your hope for a best case scenario at this point?
I think hope would be, they put the 8-week ban on 50 or more people.
Mm-hmm.
So that put us, when they came out that, I think I looked, that put us at May 10th or so. So best case scenario would be spring training 2.0 starts on May 10th. Let's call it maybe 15 days there. That gives guys 3 starts. So I think that, pretty puts us right around June 1st, I guess.
I mean, June 1st. That's pretty reasonable at this point. That's hopeful. I'll take June 1st.
I will take baseball as soon as possible, any way I possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same here, man.
Even if it's only 100 game season or whatever it ends up being, and then all of a sudden, we were talking about it last night on our podcast. It's like you guys go out and win the World Series, and then who's going to put the asterisk on the Dodgers in 2020 for only playing 100 game season? Shut up.
Yeah.
We want that damn title already, but
yeah, we'll take it any way we can get it, man. And how about the All-Star break and all that stuff? The game going to be in LA. Is that going to get postponed? Does it not exist now? There's just so many questions that just can't be answered right now.
Yeah, who's the All-Star with 80 at bats a month into the season or something like that. Yeah, there's just so much that's odd and weird, and ultimately what we're all doing is a smart thing, because we can't let this continue to get worse. And it's funny, but it's not funny how we went from that very short period where they're talking about, they're just going to play games, with no crowd there and whatever, I guess mainly in NBA. And then, oh boy, would we kill for that right now.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
It's been really tough. I don't know. I don't think of course none of us have ever seen anything like this happen, but of the many things that we haven't seen like this happen, obviously you're a man of many talents, and we were kind of before giving you a call talking a little bit about just the weird nature of the stock market right now too.
Weird nature is one way to put it.
Yeah, being explain it to people to the best of your ability that say people don't really understand the stocks like me.
Explain like I'm 5.
Yeah, tell me like I'm 5. What's going on in the stock market?
Yeah, essentially it's a mixture of a lot of things, man. But for one, this virus is going to hit the economy in a bunch of different ways. And one major way that we're seeing right now is a lot of people are needing liquidity. So banks are struggling to fund that liquidity. So the Fed is having to step in. They're cutting interest rates to zero. They're basically funneling money into our economy. And on top of that, people are scared, so they're pulling their money out of the stock market, out of stocks, which makes the market go down.
Yep.
And they're trying to take these gains. I mean, we were in a bull market, which means it was going up a little over 10 years, the longest bull market in the history of our economy. And now with these kind of question marks and these fears of this virus, people are taking those gains over the last 10 years and sit on the cash, and they'll let this blow over and then hopefully start investing. It's the quickest drop from a high we've ever seen. I mean, we were at all-time highs in the first few weeks of spring training, and then we've lost, I believe, well over 30% now. I mean, it was it's been an absolute I don't want to say bloodbath, but it basically has been. It's been tough.
So basically what you're saying is it's bad.
Well,
the summary is bad.
What I will say is in the short term, it's bad, and we need some good news before it's going to turn around. But what's awesome about this is if you're long-term minded, which means you aren't trading it, that you don't expect to get rich off the market. If you expect to build long-term wealth, it would be something that if you're long-term minded, very excited about, because I mean we haven't seen some of these stocks at these prices since 2016, which shows you how beat up it's been. But I mean, they're staples of our economy. I can't list individual names or I get in trouble, but you probably, have an idea of what some of those are. And once this gets turned around, they're going to be, quick to come back up. So I think it's tough in the short term, and I know it hurts, but if you can, it's beautiful to be 30 years old at this time. If I'm 65 and trying to retire, it definitely, it hurts a little bit worse.
Yep. That makes sense. Talking about those multifaceted talent that you are also a renowned podcast host. So what's the plan moving forward for the Big Swing? You guys just talking NFL rumors from here on out, or what's going on?
I know, man. We put one out this morning and recorded it yesterday, and just realized there's nothing to talk about. What I think we can capitalize on is just the fact that there's basically no sports right now, so people are going to be dying for content.
Yep.
And start pulling on my network of baseball players and trying to get guys from different teams and get their stories of what they're doing during these few weeks off. I already have a couple big leaguers lined up, so
sweet.
Hopefully, get their story and hear what they're doing right now, and just try and get as much baseball content as we can, because I know there's fans dying for it right now. So that's kind of our plan.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that the other day. It's like, well, the downside is obviously there's no sports, there's nothing to write about, there's nothing to watch. But on the other hand, baseball players are going to be really bored sitting at home, so they might be much more willing to come on and do something like this.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, heck, do you see me and Alex Wood? Our TikTok went viral. Normally that would get 0 views, but because there's just absolutely nothing else, we went semi-viral.
Now you could add that to your LinkedIn profile, TikTok star. I think that's another one. Too many talents over there. Yeah, one of the things I would say, just me personally as a greedy baseball fan, if you are throwing go live or something, just give the people that little semblance of the glove pop, and I think everybody's just you get that little bit of baseball any way, shape, or form you can, and it'll help us all through it. That's my request to you.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I think that this, we just got to try and be as positive as we can, and putting out, positive vibes into the atmosphere, into the world, and just try and keep everyone's spirits up as best we can right now.
For sure. We're so desperate for sports. I think we're going to go and throw a bullpen after we're done with this here. That's how desperate we are.
Yeah, I got my arm built up about 40 pitches right now, so I'm good to go. Ross,
sweet.
We appreciate your time, man. You and the missus get home safely, and then enjoy a off-season 2.0, I guess, as best you can, and stay hydrated, safe, and all the other things you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you guys as well. Thanks for having me as always. Y'all keep up the good work during this time. And like you said, man, stay safe. And I'll see you sooner and later.
All right, Ross. Appreciate you, man.
Take it easy, bud.
See you guys.
All right.
Ross Stripling, friend of the show.